Alright, so if any of you guys saw the previous videos where I was showing all the rust damage in this front cab mount, you might appreciate the progress I've made. And if not, well then, I hope you appreciate it anyway. So essentially this whole area, this whole front cab mount was rusted out, and this, obviously the fender, or the front cowl area, I'm not sure what you'd call this, where the fender attaches to it, is still Swiss cheesed and all messed up, and I'm gonna have to repair all this in steps. So the first step was to rebuild the whole cab mount area because it was all rusted out. And I'm gonna show you this, what I got so far. I still have to finish tacking it together, but I can't do that until I get it placed in there and get the door hinge aligned right where it's supposed to go. If I eliminate this gap and line this up right there, then that lines up down at that bottom hinge just where it needs to be. And so I'm gonna have to clamp this in place before I weld that hinge in place. So that's one thing. And then I can't actually attach this side support piece to this inside panel until the inside panel is tacked to the inside of the body, and this is bolted down to the frame because it's just not quite, there's some movement. I need to make sure that that's perfect. And I built this out of 18 gauge, and that's just reinforcement holes. The original piece that I had to replace, if you see over here, was this, and it was all rusted. So I did the best I could to mimic this top lip for reinforcement. I don't have any way of doing bead rolling, so I wasn't even going to try to mimic that original factory bead rolling. So I just put in the dimple die holes just to strengthen it up. This right here is going to weld onto the front side of the bottom door hinge, and this I'll have to tack from the inside of the door sill and drill through in plug welds to pull that in. And of course these are all drilled for plug welding, but I can't do that until I get this in place. So yeah, just jigsaw puzzle of work here, and I had to rebuild all of this. This was all rusted out, so I rebuilt this with angle iron. Oops. Yep, very stout piece here, a lot heavier than the original, I think, but that's fine. Stronger is better. So this, if I can get it in here one-handed, it's stuck. Okay. And I had to do all if you can see, did some more of the OSFO rust converter on there. I'm going to have to prime all that before I weld anything. That goes right in there. These holes line up right there, and the other one is lined up more or less. So I'm going to have to bolt this down first with some of the canvas padding underneath, just for noise issues. So bolt this down first, then tack the back, then I'm not going to tack the front yet, but then I can tack the back, then I can open up the door and tack the hinge, Then I can weld all of these, and then once that's all welded, then I'll just, seam seal on the inside of it, just for rust protection. And all of the pitting on the frame rail itself, what I've been doing for that is just basically welding up the pit holes, building it up with weld and grinding it down smooth. It's a long process, but it's better than trying to replace the complete frame rail. That would never happen. So that's where I am right now. My next step, hopefully tonight, is to get this piece welded in place somewhat and get the door aligned. And after that's done, then I can proceed with building the rest of the firewall. So that's what I'm up against, and that is what's going on. Oh, and I did get one of these vaporless or dustless sandblaster attachments for my pressure washer. So I'll try that out, see how it goes. Seen some videos on it. It seems pretty effective. So I'll do that to get all inside here and get off all this caked on grease and everything, and then treat that. And yeah, that's what's going on. So I'm gonna say good night, but I'm gonna get to work and do what I can. All right. Oh, and shout out to a new channel that just subscribed to me, Outfitter's Garage. He does circle track racing and he's building a car for the No Name Nationals. And he's still trying to get 500 subscribers. So yeah, go check him out. And all right. And I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.